Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Today is the day. Today is the day that we go through the Monsterverse. It is technically the first day we go through it. We are doing it today, tomorrow, the next day, and then the last day being Godzilla vs. Kong, which I'm going to review on the day of release when it comes to HBO Max. Very excited about it. And I've never actually seen a Monsterverse movie before. This is my first time. This is also my first time watching a Godzilla movie. It is not my first time technically watching a Kong movie. I think I watched one in the early 2000s. I don't remember much about it. Was it the one with Jack Black? Was there one with Jack Black? There's one with Jack Black. I've seen it. I just didn't remember it because I was really young when I watched it. But yeah, my first Godzilla movie ever. I was really excited to watch it. I had a good time, and I'm really excited to talk about Godzilla. Godzilla was released in 2014. It was written by Max Bodenstein and directed by Gareth Edwards. So, I think it's Bodenstein, but whatever. Godzilla follows a small amount of people as they learn about what is growing in the earth. Essentially, and this is not a spoiler review, but essentially what happens is we see the beginning of the film, which takes place in the past with a scientist who has a son, and the Godzilla thing comes out of the earth and and he's like, oh. But it's not actually Godzilla. We learn that it is a separate being of mass destruction, and we hear that Godzilla is in the oceans. Or at least that is what we are to assume. And then, as the son grows up, he goes to the army, and he is enrolled in the plot where we have another one come out, and, like, and then there's a second one. So now there's two of them, and Godzilla's like, alright, it's time to take action. So then Godzilla comes in, and there's a fight to see who can take over the earth. Is it the army? Is it the unidentified Mars? Or is it Godzilla? Watch the movie to find out. This one is not, as of current, on HBO Max. It might be when this comes out, I'm not sure. But when I watched it, I rented it on YouTube for like $3. It is worth it, so if you get a chance, go ahead and check that out. I had a great time watching this movie. I think it was really great. The special effects were quite fantastic. I was impressed with how tall Godzilla was and how great and scaly he looked when you could see him, which is one negative. Most of the time that Godzilla is there, it is dark and you don't really get to see a whole lot of him, which I guess adds to the ambiguity of it. But, like, why not have more, right? I'm excited because the Godzilla vs. Kong trailer, everything that I've seen in the trailer, at least most of it, takes place during the daytime. And when it is at night, it seems like there is significant lighting that might only be for the trailer. We'll see. I hope it is, because Godzilla could have really helped. Lighting could have really helped Godzilla here. In terms of being able to see the action. Because Godzilla's already really dark, right? He's a darkish, greenish. And in the dark, it doesn't show out. One prime example of this that I like to bring up whenever I talk about lighting and how bad it can be is Venom, which I have not reviewed on the channel yet, but I will in the future, right before Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, comes out. The issue that Venom had was they had this really black character, and there was no lighting, and you couldn't see anything at all that was going on. This was similar. It wasn't quite as bad, but it was pretty close. So I think it could have really, really helped if there was some better lighting here. In terms of the characters and the plots, I really like them, actually. I didn't think I was going to, but I had a great time with was it Ford? Yeah? No? Yes, Ford. I had a great time with Ford. I had a great time with Joe and Elle, and the relationship that they all had was really, really nice, especially in the beginning. I'm not going to spoil what happens, but there's a tragedy that happens in the beginning that, honestly, I cried. I was like, oh my god. Like, it was like literally like 10 minutes into the film and I was gone. I was like, it was bad. It was really fun. It was a really great opening to a movie. I was a little skeptical about how it was going to work. And then, the event happened and I was like, it was perfect. I almost wouldn't have it any other way. There's one thing I would have changed, but I can't talk about it here because it is non-spoiler. But it was really good. I think it was really interesting that the army was technically the bad guys here, because we had the unidentified, monsters, and we had the army, and basically the Japanese are like, hey, U.S. Army, don't attack it right now because we're going to let Godzilla take care of it because he's going to come in and do his thing. And the U.S. Army's like, no, we're going to kill it. And it's like, okay, but don't. And so it's a really fun balance between like who gets to kill who here. And of course, seeing Godzilla is really fun. And really what this is in its core, in Godzilla's core, is the return of a hero, right? We have an army hero who just wants to make it home to his family, right? His wife and his son. And he's really trying hard. And it's a good movie. It's a great movie about a veteran coming home. And I think it's really fun that we got to see that and explore that in terms of Godzilla. Unfortunately, however, there wasn't a whole lot of Godzilla. There's really not a whole lot. We get, I think, more with the actual monsters than we do with Godzilla. And I'm hoping that we can see more in Godzilla King of the Monsters. But of course, we shall see. I have not seen that one yet. I will see that one tomorrow morning. But it won't come out until the next day. But overall, not too bad. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the acting, which I think is quite superb. Aaron Taylor Johnson as Ford Brody. So, I have only ever seen him in one movie, and that was Age of Ultron, of course, which is not my favorite Marvel movie by any far chance. And I didn't really like him as Quicksilver, to be totally honest with you. But we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss him as Ford. So I'm not going to lie, I was a little skeptical, right? I saw the movie and I was like, he doesn't seem like he's really doing great. But as we progress through the movie, we learn more about him and his relationship with Elle and his father. We really get deep into it. And I honestly think he was perfect. I had a really great time. I wish we had a little bit more of him in the beginning to like get to know him more. And I wish that more of the stuff that happened when he was a kid in the beginning of the film mattered more, but it didn't. But I think that he was really great. I think Aaron Taylor Johnson really nailed it here, and I can see why they would want him as Quicksilver. But the writing in Age of Ultron was just, I think this might have even came out after Age of Ultron. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It doesn't really matter. Overall, I think it was great. I'm excited to see more of him in the future. I don't think he's in any more of the MonsterVerse movies, unfortunately. We'll see. These kind of feel like one installments. These weird installments, honestly, of the MonsterVerse so far, that kind of feel not connected, and I'm excited to see how they connect in Godzilla vs. Kong, and I hope we get to see his character again, but again, I'm not really thinking we will. Bryan Cranston as Joe Brody. For those of you who have not seen the channel, I love Bryan Cranston. For those of you who have seen the channel, you know I love Bryan Cranston. And I think he was fantastic in this part. It's a pretty small part in terms of screen time and such. But he gives us such a powerful performance in the beginning of this movie that he deserves to be here. Bryan Cranston is a credit to his profession, and I love him and everything he's done so far, and this was no exception. I really, really liked him in Godzilla. And unfortunately, I don't think we'll see him again, but I will be watching more Bryan Cranston stuff in the future. I don't have a series for him yet, but I will soon. One quick plug, not sponsored, by Bryan Cranston, of course. I've recently been reading this book, A Life in Parts by Bryan Cranston. It's his face. I like it a lot. I'll probably do a review on it at some point. I got it like a day ago, and I'm already pretty far through. I'm going to read more of that, probably tonight. It's a really good book. If you haven't checked it out yet, you can. It's like $10 on Amazon. Really, really great book. It's basically a memoir of his life, and it shows what he's done in order to become an actor. And honestly, it's really good so far. Really great book. And for a really great actor, for a really great partner, Godzilla. Next, we have Elizabeth Olsen as Elle Brody. I like Elizabeth Olsen a lot. I think she was great in this part. The issue that I kind of had was it almost felt like clickbait. Where oh, we have Elizabeth Olsen, come watch the movie. And she's barely in the movie. But I think she did really well. Is kind of the issue too. Is maybe it wasn't that way, and maybe they actually wanted her for her. But it's hard to tell because she does not have a lot of screen time. It's really just a lot of phone calls with her and such. But I think she did good. She's basically Ford's wife, and that's really all you need to know. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to. Overall, pretty good acting, a great story, great special effects. There are some issues with lighting. There's some issues with the fact that Godzilla's not in it a whole lot. But overall, a pretty good movie. Really enjoyable. Really good for the first time that I've seen a Godzilla movie. I'm excited for the next one. And I'm going to go ahead and give Godzilla an A-. That's going to do it for me today. Tomorrow we have Kong Skull Island. I should have another review up today for Film Club, but I don't know for sure. If it's up, watch it. Please consider subscribing. It's a huge help. We're really going places. I'm hoping by the time this comes out, we'll be at 100. We shall see. Once I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to release my review for The Room. Once I hit 150 subscribers, we are going to watch... No, we're going to go to Walmart dressed as Spider-Man, wearing my Spider-Man mask, which you can see right there, and my Spider-Man onesie and such. It's going to be really fun. So make sure you guys subscribe so you can see that. And as always, keep watching movies and television. Stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.